Hey everyone, it's Fiona McLeod and I've promised you that I'm going to share with you all about the Conscious Creation Code. Now this is a method that is a transformational technique helping you to more quickly get what you want. And what happens in this method is that we bust through resistance and allow the path to be clear between where you are now and what you want to be desiring, or what you want to create, what you want that you've been dreaming of for ages, or maybe it's something new that you've just thought about. Whatever it is, this is the Conscious Creation Code, and it's all about clearing the flow, the path between where you are and where you want to be. A to B, A to Z, whatever. What I want to share with you is this is actually an energetic shift. It's transforming the old energy into new energy, into what you want that can be life enhancing, allowing you to reach your potential faster. Now, what's blocking this from happening now is a thing called resistance. Now, resistance shows up in our lives as all sorts of things, from anxiety to overwhelm to self-doubt to making excuses to not being able to set boundaries to not thinking we're worthy to not thinking we're capable. It comes in all sorts of shapes and forms that stop us along the journey to getting where we want to go. Now, where do you want to go? Well, this could be anything. Anything from finding true love, to healing a relationship that you're in, to making more money, to creating the health, wealth, and vitality that you've been dreaming of forever. You see, what happens is we start on this journey. Often we set goals, sometimes we have intentions, yet when we start heading in that direction of what we want, we come up against a block. And often this block could be like a fear around failure or judgment, or that you don't have the capability or the skills, or that you are not the person for the job, you're not good enough, whatever your excuse is that stops you in your tracks from getting where you want to go, is just a thought. It's just a thought, right? I mean, we have actioned out these thoughts to become our reality, but this concept that blocks our way to getting our dreams and making things happen that create a more awesome life is simply a thought, an old belief, a limiting belief that has generally stopped us or inhibited us or really directed our journey up until this point. Now, a simple example of this would be something like not thinking that you're lovable, or not thinking you're enough to be lovable, or not worthy of love, and therefore sometimes finding relationships, other times not, but never being able to keep them. Another thing could be that you have all these blocks around what you think about money, because maybe you either had an abundance in your past, in your childhood, some point in your life, or you had a lot of lack. And so whatever's become your existence, your reality, what you've seen to be true for you and those around you, actually becomes a sort of a belief, a thought, a memory of an experience, you could say. Now, these beliefs I've been busting for people over the last few years using a technique called Psych K and some other energetic healing transformational processes, and they've been amazing, but they just take a lot longer than this new process that I'm about to share with you. Because what happens when we have these blocks in the road, they're multidimensional. They're not just one simple belief. They're coming from so many different levels and layers that by the time we've finished dealing with all of those layers, we've wasted a lot of time. And really, life is short and we don't have that amount of time to waste while we're trying to make our dreams come true. Now, why do I do this work? I want to share a little thing about me, because this is really where it comes from and why I'm so passionate about sharing this with other people. You see, I have always been motivated and driven. That's not always everybody's experience, but let's put it this way. It's a key to getting what we want in our society, right? It's something that we believe to be essential to making ourselves successful. So I had those skills, motivation, drive. I came from a family of entrepreneurs and whatnot. And I had my whole life mapped out by the time I was 11 years old. I kid you not, I really did. I knew the sort of career I was going to have, how much money I wanted, the sort of lifestyle I wanted. I knew I wanted a man, the whole white picket fence, and all the token things that we set ourselves up for. Now, I set out to get these things. I really worked hard. I tried hard. I even found blocks in my earlier years, such as low self-esteem and other issues around my personal value and worth, that I worked through, and I busted. I went through them. I got through them. I built my self-esteem and confidence to a level that was far superior to where it had been. I worked through life, I worked really hard, and I eventually burnt out. I tried so hard, and along the way I did achieve some very successful things. I was proud of some of the achievements I had actually made. Yet, when it come down to it, by the time I hit 40 years old, I had none of those things on my wish list. I had worked so hard with the motivation, the drive, did all the right things, made the dream boards, did the positive affirmations, learnt all about how to really unfold and grow yourself. Yet I didn't have this life that I really, really wanted. Now that's a short version of a long story. Now, by the time I hit 40, I'd had a burnout and I was struggling with health, and that had taken up a lot of my money as well. So things were on the downward spiral. So I once again took the hands on the steering wheel of my life and turned my life upside down, moved to live at the beach, transformed everything, started living my dream job, found an awesome man. Things were looking better. I was so happy. Living such a simple life. And after a couple of years of doing this, I realized I still didn't really have it all. I didn't have what I wanted. I'd busted so many limiting beliefs. I'd really come into my own. I was loving so many things, but then I got bored. Then I wanted more. Then I wondered why it hadn't happened naturally. And this is why I upgraded my techniques, the method I use, and I really launched into some of the experiences that I'd had over the time working with clients and through my personal routine. You see, what happened in the last couple of years was perfectly formed, unbeknown to me. I started reading tarot for a living. I was doing more energetic healing. I was able to tune in with my clients and give them surrogate healing from afar using muscle testing, kinesiology, and other things that helped me to work energetically with people to achieve physical results without even being near them. So this was blowing my mind on so many levels because I was able to tap into something that I hadn't really been connecting into enough in my past. This is a superconscious, it's a higher self. It's where we action our intuition, and we really do have this bigger part of ourselves that's not just our body or our mind. So this got me thinking. This got me thinking hard out, but also got me feeling deeper inside. And this is where this conscious creation code comes from, because it's the ability to tap in to this bigger picture. Before I go more into that, I'll probably step back now and explain to you how we work as humans. We have like 3 powerful minds within us that control what happens in our day-to-day ways. And that is, first of all, we've got a conscious mind. I like to call this the human mind. It's where we think about things. It's very much based on what's happening right here, right now. We can do about 1 to 3 things at a time. Some people think they can multitask and do more. The truth is we really can only do a limited number of things at a time on a conscious level. Now, behind the scenes, we have this super conscious, and before that we have a subconscious. So our subconscious mind is what rules our, there are things we've repeated in life to be able to do on autopilot, such as riding a bike, driving a car, writing, eating while we're doing something else, breathing, our heart racing, our heart beating, and things that we don't really have to consciously think about, that just happens. The subconscious holds the memories of everything that we've ever experienced in our life. So these are things like stories from our childhood, how to learn how to do something, what people have said about us, what we've learned to be who we are. So if someone said that we were fat and ugly all the time as a kid, we believed it to be true. If they said we were clever and super special and amazing, we believed that to be true as well. Because our subconscious was programmed between the ages of 0 to 14. Between 0 to 7, we were kind of in a state of hypnosis, where everything that we heard or saw or experienced in life became our truth of what was and what is, like our gospel. And everything that we learnt and heard and said after that, between 7 and 14, we then learned through a little bit of hypnosis, but also through repetition. So this was how we learned how to ride a bike, and we start to question things in our reality. Now, once we had grasped this concept of who we are by our teenage years, we just roll out life according to those beliefs and what we were learned in our subconscious. And unless we consciously become aware of how we're behaving and self-analyze, we really just are a victim to our reactions and to our society and to whatever life throws us. So, that's fine if you're happy, but if you're not, it's something to look into, which is why I flipped my life around so majorly by transforming those subconscious limiting beliefs. But I got to a point it wasn't enough for me and I wanted more. So I tapped up into the superconscious. So let's just get this into perspective. The little tiny conscious mind is about like an ant. The subconscious is kind of like an elephant, and the superconscious is pretty much everything else that surrounds the ant and the elephant. It's the entire universe. So we are part of this. We know this. We've had crazy experiences. We've all experienced something beyond our thinking mind and our subconscious. And when we have, it gives us more of an understanding of how we can tap into that. So I'm going to share with you how you can connect in with this and how to create the flow between where you are and what you want. Because once we understand that it's not just it is the subconscious, but it's not just about working away at the problems, but instead more of an action of focusing on what we want. You see, 9 times out of 10 in my clinic, I work with people's problems. Now I'm changing that so our focus is more specific onto what people want. Now we do similar techniques, but we also add in this new layer of the conscious creation code. And that's where we can actually move a massive amount of energy. So a massive amount of old memory, a massive amount of limiting beliefs that have been blocking us for all these years. Now this information is a lot, I know, because I have been wondering how am I going to share this with you. So I thought I would just start by starting. And here is the first episode, the first video on the introduction to the Conscious Creation Code. And you'll be able to find the second one very shortly after this. But what I want you to know now is to understand that you are a 3-tiered mind system: your human self, your habitual self, and your higher self. And once you can use all of those 3 minds together and become aware of your thoughts, your focus and your resistance, then we can work out how to clear the way to making that flow of the stream from where you are to where you want happening right now. But it gets a lot more exciting than this, because I'm going to share with you how to set those focuses, how to make that intention pure, and how to tap into your intuition to do this more easily when you're rolling out the action steps that need to be taken in order to create your dream career, your wonderful health, your perfect body, your amazing relationship, and so much more. So there you go, guys. That's just a starting point. I'm going to throw this out there because I've got to start somewhere, and you've seen it here first right now, and I look forward to chatting with you next time with the next step in the process of the Conscious Creation Code. Thanks for being with me. Do give me a thumbs up on this, because I am deeply passionate about what this is all about. This is something that has blown my mind, and I really want to share it with you, work with you, and allow you to experience this transformational healing technique as well. So there's plenty of ways to do it. Contact me at fiona@sirensoul.com, or just comment below with any questions you have about where and why and what else you'd like to know about it. Thanks for being here. Love you so much, and we'll see you next time. Ciao for now.